What's up, guys? Phil here with News Geek with another Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG unpacking video. This time we have the Infinity Chasers. These came out a couple of weeks ago. We've been a little late on this, but it's okay because they're still relevant. Thank you, Konami, for sending these our way. Obviously, 5 cards per pack. There's a little limited set. We have 3 new archetypes. This is not like a regular set where it's like 10 cards in a pack. These are only 5 cards per pack. They're out now. But we have 3 new archetypes to go through. We have the Infinitracks, I believe they're called. A bunch of Earth Machine type monsters that Exceed Summon, Link Summon, work well with the trains and railway cards. So if you want to swarm the field with giant machines, that's the archetype for you. Then you have the Witchcrafters, I believe. They use a lot of spell cards to control the field, negate effects all day, every day. And then we have the Evil Eyes. They are fiend monsters that require equipped spells and traps. So I was told that's probably the best one of the 3 archetypes, that they might have some kind of effect on the meta, but we'll see how everything shapes up. They're out for a couple of weeks now, so I'm sure there's a bunch of decks out there for each. But let's go right down to it. First up, look at that. Evil Eye Mesmerism. Mesmerism? I don't know. Continuous trap. While your opponent special summons a monster or monsters, activate this card by targeting one of the summoned monsters in attack position with less attack than an Evil Eye monster you control. Take control of that monster. When that monster leaves the field, destroy the card. While Evil Eye of Selene is in your spell and trap zone, that targeted monster is also treated as an Evil Eye monster. You can only activate this once per turn. See? Evil Eyes. Spells and traps. That's what they require. Next up, so look, speaking of Evil Eye, Basilisk, Familiar of the Evil Eye. Fiend, 400 attack, 2000 defense. If you control an Evil Eye monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon Basilisk, Familiar of the Evil Eye once per turn this way. During your main phase, you can send 1 Evil Eye spell or trap from your deck to the graveyard. You only use effect once per turn. Then out your deck. There you go. It's always the right way to go. Next, Witchcrafter Masterpiece. If you control a Witchcrafter monster, target 1 spell on either graveyard. Add 1 card with the same name from your deck to your hand. During either player's turn, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card and any number of spells from your graveyard. Special summon 1 Witchcrafter monster from your deck, whose level equals the number of spells banished to activate this effect. You can only use the effect once per turn. Bunch of spells, banish them, effects galore. And then we have, Arcane Knight Magician. Duel Links players will know this guy. This is very OG synchro from like the first generation of synchro monsters. If this card is synchro summoned, place 2 spell counters on it. This card gains 1000 attack for each spell counter on it. You can remove 1 spell counter from the field, then target 1 card your opponent controls to destroy that target. Any spell counter from anywhere on the field, not just from him. Pretty good synchro. Next, Magician's Right Hand. Negate the effect of your opponent's first spell card or effect that resolves each turn while you control the spellcaster monster, and if you do, or if it did not have an effect, destroy that card. There's another reprint for Dark Magician decks, pretty much. So far, so good. The Evil Eyes look pretty cool, right? The Basilisk monster. Get some more fiends like that. Let's see what we got in pack number 2. Witchcrafter Madame Ver. 3, 6, 7, 8. Star monster. During damage calc, if your spellcaster monster battles an opponent's monster, it's a quick effect. You can reveal any number of spells with different names in your hand. And if you do, your battling monster gains 1000 attack or defense for each card revealed until the end of this turn. You can discard 1 spell, negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent controls until the end of the turn. You can only use the effect once per turn. Pretty good. Negate effects, power up your monsters. Can't go wrong. Look at this. Phantom Fortress Enter Blatnir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. 2 level 9 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card and activate 1 of these effects. Banish 1 card your opponent controls. Banish 1 random card from your opponent's hand. Banish 1 card from your opponent's graveyard. Banish the top card of your opponent's deck face up. 999. There you go. Works well with the Infinitracks because they're level 9s as well, if I'm not mistaken. Next, we have Tannhauser Gate. Target 2 monsters you control at the same time with 1000 or less attack. Both monster level becomes the combined levels of those 2 monsters. Great for Exceed summoning. Easy, easy, easy exceeds. Next, Witchcrafter Hane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Your opponent cannot target other spellcaster monsters you control with card effects. You can discard one spell, then target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy it. You only use the effect once per turn. Again, controlling the board. That's the name of the game for the Witchcrafters. Next, finally for this one, Marshalling Field. Continuous trap. You cannot special summon monsters except machine monsters. Once per turn, you can declare a level from 5 to 9. All level 5 or higher machine monsters you control become that level. If a machine XC monster you control will be destroyed, you can send this card to the graveyard instead. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one rank up magic Argent Chaos Force from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Again, XC machine monsters. That's the name of the game. So far, so good. What's your favorite one so far, Rocco? Doesn't know.
How about this one?
That's pretty good. Not bad, right?
She's pretty.
She's pretty. That's one way of saying it. Next, pack number 3. Witchcrafter Holiday. Target one Witchcrafter monster in your graveyard, special summon it during your end phase if you control a Witchcrafter monster. While this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn. That's actually pretty powerful. Recycle, special summon, keep going, over and over and over. Next, Confronting the Sea. This is a reprint. When your opponent special summons a monster or monsters from the extra deck, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, this card is unaffected by monster effects that target this card. 2500 defense. Good. Next, Witchcrafter Pottery. I think that's what it's called. During the main phase, you contribute this card, then discard one spell. Special summon one Witchcrafter monster from your deck, except Witchcrafter Pottery. If you have no cards in your hand, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Witchcrafter card in your graveyard, add to your hand. One Witchcrafter card, yeah. You can only use the effect once per turn. Easy to get this one out without tributing. Easy, easy, easy. We're getting a lot of Witchcrafters in this one. Next, Outrigger Extension. Continue to spell this, probably for the Infinitracks. If your opponent cannot target machine exceed monsters, you control with card effects once per turn. You can target one Infinitrack exceed monster you control, special summon from your extra deck one machine monster that has 2 ranks higher than that target by using that target as material. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn except Earth machine monsters, even if this card leaves the field. It is treated as an exceed summon. Transfer its materials to the summon monster. Rank up. This is for the Infinitrack guys. We haven't seen the card yet, a monster, so maybe this will be it. No, another Witchcrafter. Collaboration. Target one Witchcrafter monster you control. It can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Also, if it attacks this turn, your opponent cannot activate spell or traps until the end of the damage step. During this end phase, if you control a Witchcrafter monster while this card is in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn. So many spells. Reminds me of spell books. Any spellbook players out there, you know. So many spells. So many spell cards to use. Recycle, rinse, repeat. I guess we're going to have to make a Witchcrafter deck. So many of those cards. Next. Now here we go. Infinitrack River Stormer. That looks cool. 3, 4, 5. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can attach that monster to this card as material. You can only use the effect once per turn. You can detach one material from this card, take one Earth Machine monster from your deck, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. If this card is in your graveyard, you contribute one Machine Link monster, special summon this card in defense position. That's pretty good. Excuse me. Destroy monster, add it to your his material. Keep using, repeat, rinse, repeat. Actually pretty good. Next, Magician's Left Hand. We got right, now we got left. Negate the effect of your opponent's first trap or effect. Trap card or effect that resolves each turn while you control spellcaster monster, and if you do, destroy that card. So if you have both, no spells or traps, pretty much. You negate the first one on every turn. Next, Secret Village of the Spellcaster reprint. If you only control a spellcaster monster, your opponent cannot activate spell cards. If you control no spellcaster monsters, you cannot activate spell cards. Lock them down. Next, Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. Rank 7. Once per turn, you can detach one material from this card, special summon 2 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens. While you control a token, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Once per turn, you contribute one Mecha Phantom Beast monster that targets one card in the field. Destroy that card. This card cannot attack during the turn you activate this effect. More machine exceeds. That's why they're reprinting them. And last for this pack, Magical Cylinder. Magic Cylinder. When opponent's monster declares an attack, target the attacking monster, negate the attack, and if you do inflict damage to your opponent, it's equal to its attack. Classic Yu-Gi-Oh card. A lot of reprints in that pack. And we finally got an Infinitrack monster, so we can't really complain too much. Final pack. Here we go. Rocco's happy. Whoa, we got Zerzeal, ruler of the evil and eyed. Oh, it's the end. 2 evil eye monsters. If this card was link summoned during using a monster with 2600 attack or higher attack as material, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. If this card is equipped with Evil Eye of Selene, you can target one card your opponent controls, destroy it. You can only use the effect of Zerial, ruler of the evil eye, once per turn. Once per turn during the next standby phase after this card was activated, negate the effect of one effect monster this card currently points to. This is actually the boss monster of this archetype. Yeah, and that's this one right here. So pretty good. Link. Next. Hidden Armory, another classic. Set a top card of your deck to the graveyard, add 1 equip spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can't normal summon or set the turn you activate this card. Good for Evil Eyed because you need that equip spell. Next, Infinitrack Tunneler. You contribute 1 Earth Machine monster, special summon this card from your hand in defense position. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 5 Earth Machine monsters from your graveyard. Shuffle them into your deck, then draw 2 cards. You only use effect once per turn. Next, another Infinitrack, Drag Shovel. You can tribute 1 Earth Machine monster, special summon this card from your hand in defensive position. You can banish 1 Machine monster from your graveyard, add 1 spin turn from your deck to your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn. These are all high level monsters. That's pretty cool, like a construction Tonka truck. And finally, another one of these guys, so we won't go through it. So that's the Infinity Chasers. Pretty good set. We got a mix of a lot of them, so something for everyone. If you want to exceed monsters, you go with the Infinitrack guys. If you want more Fiend support, you got the Evil Eyed, and then Witchcrafter, spell cards, and spellcaster support. Not bad. Those 3 archetypes are pretty cool. Curious to see if they'll continue them in future sets. But yeah, until next time, guys, for another Yu-Gi-Oh! Unpacking, I'm Phil with News Geek. Until next time, later.